our YouTube channel is Cosmic YouTube channel. So please subscribe to that channel. We're going to be wanting to get up to 1,000 plus subscribers so we can run our own live from YouTube as well. So subscribe to that and you'll see also that we've got some very interesting previous channelings and other recordings there. Okay, thank you everybody. Everybody can hear you, my dear? I'm going to go into breath and thank you for being here. I feel it's going to be a good time. See you on the Rabana ahir nehnainka. Bahela no mo kehenene mahai no kutusilela va ne kitabasukiena. Pohena ina shukaita ina kusihina mako. Pakaina ina na kaito shike. Paka itoshe ya baha uenemai tasakishina mukeena. Poteta no sepaita ino koshe. Vosikapahina mukote namaina kaito shilana. Vosikshwa ko ita tosunena. Ehela unomono kaitata. Pranusi mbaka utete ena. Ne onama ehe. Tose maana na auto sukaita. Kutaida. Kushraina. Kuchiama ahoto. Pisha, 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 kodai tarabatasi. Greetings, dear fellow space travelers. Greetings to you who have been upon this plane, upon this rhythm of life for many moons, many star systems, many planetary existences. You have been here out of choice. You have come into this place. You have been touched and broken in the heart space. You have allowed yourself to connect to others in that which is the sacredness of the heart. You have felt that sacredness being ripped and to be taken from you, not just once, not just twice, but many, many, many times. You have felt the depletion of the heart space, the sacredness of that which is the word, the honor, the integrity of being. And yet, you remain faithful, not only to what you see and speak of yourself, but what you hear, what you know that you visually see, but what you are seeing in the third eye, within the pineal as it explodes before you. We are Whitefeather, and we have come into this place, to this time, to these ones that wish to hear. And we wish to speak about good things and equally about the not so good things. For this period that you are entering into has been foretold. Many voices of our side of the realm have spoken through many of those who allow themselves to be vessels of transmission. And we have given the years, the dates over many, shall we say, transmissions. We have given you to observe what you would call the 2000, the 1999, the 2000, the 2005, and then we moved up to 2015, 2017. We also said the 2020, the 2025, and the 2030. And these dates have been given to you through various means, various transmissions. And we, White Feather, remind you of these transmissions, of these dates, because they are important. Because they have either brought the awakening of humanity, of the balance of all that has been, where the consciousness of humanity has risen enough to bring yourself into the awakening position. And those who have become awake have taken on the mantle, and they have run, and they have gone the path and their purpose of journey, and they have done it with integrity, sometimes to their detriment, sometimes not knowing exactly where they are heading, but they have trusted and they have applied themselves to the task at hand, which is to bring enlightenment, to illuminate the world that they live within. And then there have been those times, those moments in your history that have been etched upon your memories and upon your history books in infamy. So you think. Dates that you say, why did this happen? What could we have done to prevent it? And as usual in human world, you have the dichotomy. You have those who are understanding why things happen and those who do not. You have people saying, what and why is this year so great? And what and why is this year so foul? You are at the same pinnacle where this period is bringing you into a vortexual energy coming together. A time where you are gathering in energy, infusing with each other at what you would call a global or a celestial way of being. Because it's not just limited to this plane of earth, to this disk that sits within the very space-time continuum. But it is a celestial. It is where the firmaments above and beneath are coming together in the energetic formation. And energies are being downloaded and uploaded into the realm that is known as Earth. Into the humanoids that are called Terrans, or humanoids, or human. And at this particular time, there is a flux, there is a movement of dichotomy that you have never experienced, because it is the beginning of a new decade of your linearity, where in the outlay you will look down and you will see the pitfalls being laid upon you if you are observant and if you hear the messages that are being given to you by those who see, who have studied, not shall we say the esoteric and the astrological, but they have studied the patterns of humanity. They have made their life journey the purpose of their existence to understand the families of power on your plane. And they lay out for you much information. Some little, shall we say, dramatization has been given, and some is so to the truth that it is frightening, startling, and so vastly slap in the face that you will not want to hear it or admit that it is true. But you must take everything and you must put it in the basket and you must look, because what is being given to you through the various means of information at this particular time is giving you a plan, a blueprint for the upcoming periods of your next linearity of 10 to 15 years. This 2020 is a time of recognition. It is a year where we will say it has the duality, the dual number, the 20 and the 20, the dark and the light will come to the fore. Politically, but more importantly, individually. Because the individuals are going to have to look at where they are sitting on the fence. Is their integrity allowing them to be in balance? Is their integrity and honor of self, of being of the light that they are in this place, a true representation of the light that is of the universal source connection? Or is it perhaps a dramatization of what they think the light is? Is the shadow more overpowering in the lives of people at this time? Is the shadow bringing to this world a time of what you would call gloom? Or is the shadow reflecting enough to stimulate the true sense of light, the true sense of well-being, the true sense of truth? To those who will hear and who will listen. Because, my dears, if there is anything that we would impart to you at this moment, it is that you understand that from the realms that we sit above all else, for we sit above the firmament, we sit above what you would call the night sky, and we observe through the sacred geometry, we observe through the patterns that form your very planetary existence. And we see the repetitiveness of the moving backwards and forwards of the dark and the light in your society. And it all comes down to how the human responds internally to the stimuli that is being fed to the program they exist within. And as you are the programmer of your own program, we have to remind you, what are you allowing into your individual stimuli? This does not take away the human conscious responsibility of that which is the totality of all that is. For all humanity comes together in agreement, believe it or not, for what is happening at a much higher level on this plane. And 2020 is the key. 2020 is, shall we say, the unlocking of the future of humanity. Yes, already there have been unfoldings of attacks. Yes, already there have been the unfoldings of the unfortunate destructions of places upon your earth. Nations are being disseminated. People groups are being eradicated. Not always through warfare, but through the subtlety of genocide at the highest levels of medical care. And yet, you breathe and you say, there's nothing I can do. I would say every human if they were to rise up in the totality of their awareness of being, that they are a conscious being, that they are actually not the property of a segregated group that chooses to segregate humanity further. If every human, no matter what they consider themselves to be, were to come together and say, I did not choose to sign my life away to XYZ. You may call it government or councils or the devil or religion. You do not have to give it a name at all. It is the fact that you were given a number the day you were born. That number is in a record. You are stock, dear ones. And how you allow yourself to be shuffled in this particular period of time dictates how you will be in this coming year and this coming decade. This message, I know, goes very much against what many of the words of the other messages have come. But if you stay and listen, you will hear the culmination and you will understand our beginning. Because every beginning must outlay all of the props, all of the whys, the wherefores, the hows, the why comes, the how comes of humanity. And when we observe you, dear ones, we see that your passion for life, we see that your passion for upward movement, for expansion, for learning the next new thing, for taking yourself out of a place of subserviency into a place of greatness, drives you. And sometimes it drives you too far. It drives you into insanity because you try so hard to break the chains that you were born into. You try to resist instead of looking at what is chaining you and unlocking it from within. 2020 is a year of unlocking. It is the year that if humanity chooses, it understands it is the year of power. It is a strong year. And it comes down to numerology, what you call the number 4. It is the connection to Gaia. It is the foundation. It is the 4 pillars of truth. The 4 pillars that you build upon. It is the 4 elements. The 4. Dear ones, it is no mistake you are here in this period of moment of time. Understand that you are divinely in place. Now, this does not mean that you are destined and divinely programmed to be XYZ and to perform in a certain way and have no say in what is going on. When we say you are divinely in place, it means that you have registered, recognized in your energy that you are part of a bigger picture. That your journey, your purpose in life, even though you may not have a full picture of what your journey is taking you into and where your purpose of life is directing you in, but you know that you are in the perfect divine placement for this period. Do not move. Allow the flow of energy to come into your being. Namaha. There are those that are hearing this word that struggle with this. And this is fine. Because all that is happening on the outside of the dramatization of all the world stage is to distract you yet again from the greater picture of what is actually happening. If your eyes can be distracted and pulled left or right, up or down, instead of being placed in front of you, then they have won already. Because if we take the focus and we place it in front of you and you begin to expose inwardly the chains that have been in your life from before you were born in this existence, you begin to have the key to unlock yourself from the chains of what you call control. 2020, dear ones, is a timing. That is all. It is a timing. It is a key that will, in the correctness of time, take you into 2025, which is halfway to your 2030. These are very significant parts of your decade. We will come to that. But what we are going to do is we are now going to go into why 2020 is your unlocking year. It is a year of unlocking. It is a year of exposing. It is a year where cracks are going to begin to be revealed. Because everybody wants to be right. They do not want this to happen or that to happen. They want it to be perfect. Because how can we have come so far and yet achieved so little? Why are we told one thing by those that lead us and direct us, whether they are what you would call government issued or Lightworker issued statements? Understand that the Lightworker community is the birthing child of governmental departments. It has been born out of governmental control. We do not say this to shatter your dreams, because there was a very significant reason that it was birthed. They wanted to see how many people were energetically conscious, how many were attuned to the frequencies that surround this solar system. How many are able to connect to the realms outside of your earth realm, your earth dimension? And their experiment was successful. Now, if we come forward to where we sit today, many have become aware that there is something not right in the origins of the Lightworker community. And they have begun to separate themselves out and to create for themselves new connections to Source, new connections to the universal connection of all, to the oneness that truly exists in the ether. And the ether does exist, my friends. It covers your earth realm. It is where the Akashic record sits for all of humanity, as well as the individual connections. As you begin to understand that you can be free of manipulation within an arena that you felt that you should be free, what begins to happen is your freedom takes on a new look. And in 2020, this is our desire, that you will step into the freedom that you so desire and deserve. It is freedom of mind, freedom of attachment, freedom of judgment, freedom of everything that has been told to you that you should behave like due to humanity. Because humanity is a dis-ease. Humanity came about after a mis-experimentation between the original humanoids of this planet, known as Terrans, and another species that evolved the humans. But that is a different story, and we will perhaps revisit that at a different time. But the humans that exist on the plane today, there are those that have enough of their original DNA of the Terrans to remind them of the greatness that is possible. Now, when we refer to the greatness, it is this: longevity, agility, connection, conscious mind of the cosmic connection. It is within all the species, the potential of everything that you've dreamed about, what you refer to as telepathy or mind control. It is not controlling the mind, it is the ease of flow of energetic matter flowing through the pineal gland into that which is the conscious connection of the heart space, allowing yourself to transition from one space to another space with grace and ease. You call it portal traveling. It is what we would call toroidal travel. It is activating the magnetic field within your own self, connecting to that which is your global connection, your celestial connection, and utilizing the energy. This is what humanity is able to step into. And in 2020, the cracks are going to show. What we say here, I want you to listen. The cracks are going to come about. You are going to see more and more of the exposing of the government plans, or the Illuminati plans, or the Cabal plans, whatever label you want to place. They boil down to three places. You have the Washington City, you have the Vatican City, and you have London City. Then we will throw in the EU, Berlin, where all of the decision-making is coming into play. So you have the military, the money, the religion, and then you have the marketing or the social behavioral patterns. And this is perhaps the one that you should be aware of, because it is in there that the laws are passed down. You think that your government comes up with the ideas? Think again. They are all in conjunction, whether they are aware of it at the lower realms or not. Just like every secret society, you have your Grand Master and you have your pawns. And this is how every country is run. Bit of a gloomy start to this message. We ask that you wait. Do not run, because then you'll only have a third of the picture. In 2020, there is the opportunity for those who are alert and awakened to the light energy that flows through them from conscious connection to the universe, to the original source that helped create them. There is the opportunity to bring more of that into their conscious awakened state. In other words, your waking moments will be more alert to this energy. And in this energy, you will find the abilities to become the individual that you desire to be, not for the egoic, not for the power hungry, but for those who are of meek of energy, who desire to be of service, to bring about the change that they have long waited for. "22 is a strange number. Becomes 11, which brings it to 2. 22 becomes 4. Divide that by 2, it becomes 2. 22, 2, 2. 2020, 2, 2, 4. It all comes together in a placement of togetherness. It is a foundation number. It is the place and the timing where you will begin to see the grounding of the energy. You are so focused on the past of this world, of the societies and the nations that lived before you. Understand this and hear us. You lived before. You created the pyramids. You created the Sphinx. You created the Mayan temples. You created everything that has been upon this planet. You wiped it out through mudslides, through floods, through destruction. You as the species did this through various means, ways, and communications with outside forces, giving away your power, taking your power back. There has been a sway backwards and forwards. Now is your time to stop looking at the past. Yes, your past will show you where you have come from, and it gives you a foundation to go. But if you lose yourself in the past, 2020 will just be another year that you've lived and existed, and you will keep living as if nothing else has changed. But if you can look at today and say, today is my day, that yes, I acknowledge my past. I acknowledge that I was an equal, viable part in all the decision making that went on in that, whether I can remember it or not, whether I have a memory of being Ra, or being President Lincoln, or being this, or being that. Whether I can remember being a pauper picking up the scraps from under the table, or the king that threw the scraps, matters no more. It is from this moment that if you breathe and register into this fluidness right now, you will sense the entirety of your being. And we challenge you to do that right now. We challenge you to step into that which is this beingness, this breath that brings every element of existence of the past and the present together. For there is no future, dear ones. Understand that you may plan, that there are people that will plan years, decades, and centuries ahead. But it has not occurred. It may never occur. The only thing that occurs is now. And it is time that in 2020, all of the energies that are fluctuating around are corralled, not to be controlled, but to be utilized. When you go into that breath and you realize there is no past, because the past is present with you. There is no present other than this very moment. All of a sudden, you begin to feel the empowerment, the possibilities, the potential, the energized connection to universe. 2020 is the breakthrough year. If you can learn to break through and understand that it is from the place of breath of now that everything else occurs, you will begin to step into your fuller strength, your fuller abundance, your fuller wealth, your fuller health, your fuller everything. But you cannot do it from a perspective of, but in the past this, or maybe in the future that. It must be, what is it now? In this now moment. Because it is in this moment, this period that you are existing in, that all of the potentials are existing to be ignited. And 2020 is your year of breakthrough. It is your year of release. It is your year of cracking. It is your year of surmountable endeavors. You will overcome if you can just understand, comprehend, figure out, know within the very depths of your sacred heart space that there is nothing to hold you back, because if the past does not exist, then what is holding you back? Now, immediately we are seeing in the energy that some of you disagree with that because you have evidence of the past. Listen to what we said. The past does not exist. It does not hold you. Yes, you existed in all of those past matters. We are acknowledging your part playing in those, but it does not exist any longer. You may be wearing the consequences of your actions that you did in a past future moment. But in your present moment, there is no past to stop you from going forward. Understand what we are saying. Comprehend the depth of what we are saying. Often humans will put it to you this way. If I wrote you a check or gave you a blank check, what would prevent you from doing what you wanted to do? Oh, nothing. Well, go and do it then. You have a blank check. And they still look at you and say, well, where is it? Because they want a physical thing that they can hold that then gives them permission to go and do what they think they want to do. No. Understand. You are your blank check. You are the creator of this 2020. The wars that are being spoken around you at this time, being floated in the atmosphere of discussion. You would say, are they going to happen? Is America going to war? Is Iran going to invade us? Do you realize that that little town, Iran, that country, holds the entire world of the southern hemisphere, which will affect the northern hemisphere, in their grasp? They have a key. All they have to do is close a doorway. And the southern hemisphere has no oil, has no gas, has no shipping routes, because they cannot pass through the strait or the waterworks of that nation. But they also know if they do that, the world will attack them. They are not stupid. They are biding their time. They are angry, yes, for an illegal attack upon their land. If you want to look at the aggressor, look at America. Look at the EU. Look at the Vatican. Look at the City of London. Notice I did not say England, I said the city. of England, or the city of London. These are the aggressors. These are where the placements are. Washington City, where the White House is, the decision-making places. This is where the cabals sit. Now, why am I saying this? Why are we, white feather, being so dramatic, being so depressing? It is so that you begin this decade with knowledge. Because you have the opportunity to prevent something happening of a negative form, a war. You, the individuals that are awakened, alive and conscious, you are the ones that if you step into, and we're now going to call you out with this integrity, with honest meditation, not performance meditation. If you allow yourselves to go into the meditation, guided or not, but if you allow yourself to do honest meditation, it need not be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour. It need be only what you are directed to do. But you focus not on, world peace, because world peace does not exist and will not exist. But peace can exist. Coexistence can exist. Co-creation can exist. And if you focus on healing a nation, one person at a time, that is how you will do it. And your meditation is, and you may not need to know the names of the individual people of a nation, but you send your meditation of peace, of healing to the individuals of the nation. And how do you do that? You go in and you heal yourself. You heal the arrogance of your own life. You heal the self-righteousness of your own life. You heal the privilege of your own life. And when I say that, I am talking to the totality of humanity, because you are all the same. And when you come to the realization that you now are in a place where you are healed, you send that meditative energy to the nations. 2020 is a year where you will begin to see vast changes happening, decisions made quicker than a breath, and rechanged, governments coming in and going out. You're going to find people are being moved from place to place. And you're going to look at this and think, when is things going to sort themselves out? When are things going to become still? When you heal yourselves and let that healing flow out. This has been the message of many of the transmissions for the last 5 years. Go within, heal your broken self, heal thyself. Go into before going out. But too often you do not stick and you do not stay at healing self. You deal with one small issue and then you think, I'm better, and you go off into the world and you want to heal the broken world. You are the broken world. Heal yourself. This is your year to do it. There is energy flowing from universe, from original source, from all of the energies that are here to assist humanity, from other realms that are very, very close to your realm. And I am not referring to Palladian or Atlantean or whoever. I am referring to real realms in existence who are waiting to assist humanity. But humanity needs to come to a place of humbleness. You need to remember who you are, humans. You need to understand and comprehend the fullness of the breath within you and from whence it came. This decade is going to take you into places that have far exceeded your expectations. And although I said that there is no future, the future is now being made now. There is the potentials that go out from this moment. And one of the potentials is that we see in 2030 such a change within the human species. We see two paths and a possible third. One path, there is great change that has occurred over this decade of the right change, or we will say the correcting change, where humanity begins to be responsible, begins to take self-responsibility seriously, and stops looking out of themselves to blame and for answers. And in this part, we see that there is healing upon this plane and great movement of energy and balancing. And come 2030, there is going to be a great celebration of life, of existence, of contacts from other realms, living coherently with this realm. The middle path, which seems to be the one that is being activated at this moment, is the path of war, of destruction. And in 2030, there will be a cloud over this world, both mentally and emotionally, as well as physically, that will make life very difficult for living. Humanity will have been disposed. In other words, there will be much less humans living upon the surface of this earth. The third path we see a path that is an ethereal path. It is the path where humanity begins to self-govern. Not self-govern as trying to dictate how everybody else should live, but they govern themselves through the ethereal and etheric rules of universal law, of truly living the statement, do unto others as I would be done by. By living of the mere fact of the spiritual concept of that which I send out will return to me. Now, this is not karma. It is a spiritual concept of responsibility. If I do something, there is a reaction. There is a response. But if I know what I have done, and that if it is a negative, I can heal it immediately. I can take steps to negate. But you see, if you are in spiritual connection, that should not happen. The only thing that should happen is that as you send out, it will return in the positivity because you are sending positiveness out. And which means that by 30, it's the second time I've let that slip, I will address it and I will address it soon. In 2030, if you follow the etheric way, you will be in a place of great balance where this world will be on its way to health and healing, and self-healing of humanity will be back in play. That the rivers and the waters will be healed because of the technology that is brought in from the ethereal manners of connection. That third path is very faint and wispy because we do not truly see humanity walking that path. We do see one of the others. Now, twice I've mentioned 3030. That is a long way off. And you would say, but there's your future. White feather, you've said there is no future, there is no past, there is only this now moment. This is true. Having the ability to sit upon that which is the higher realms and observe that which is the sacred geometry and the patterns that fall outward in the ever-growing movement of the expansion of humanity, we do see a 3030. We do see a great time. We see a great duality spinning at that particular moment. We see a moment in time that shines the exuberance of life. And we also see a time of shadow, of death and destruction, of automation, shall we say, where nothing truly exists, only what has been made. Now, this is not a horror story or a made-up imagery. This is potential. 3030 is a year, a century, a timing where you control today. This is what we are trying to infer to you, that in this moment, in this 2020, in this moment of this exact breath, everything you focus your energy on will flow out and begin the building blocks of energy for your future moments, your future decades, your future everything else. There are centuries coming before us as they present, where humanity exists to a form. And then we see the same centuries where humanity exists in totality of pure balance, reminding us of the golden age of Lemuria and the balance of the technology of Atlantis. And even before they existed, the original Terrans that were living and operating upon this plane. We see combined realizations, combined unions between the realms, passing easily over the mountains. But to get there, you must start in this moment and understand what it is that you desire. 2020 is, as has been said by many of the psychics and many of those messengers of eclipses and energies and alignments of planets and the energy that is flowing through. Yes, these energies are here to assist. But what are they assisting you in? Who is telling you to draw the curtains back and truly look at what your potential is? Well, it is time to go not gently into the fray, but to go full fast, full steam, full headed, declaring your intent and intention, and then maintaining it and doing it, not to fall back. 2020 is your year of great expansion. It is the time and the moment where the universe is opening up the halls of learning. The mystery schools are open. No longer do you need to have to apply secretly for attendance, but they are open for those who are astute enough to tap into the energy, to see it, hear it being presented in plain sight, not wrapped up in magic terms and guru abilities, but in plain sight. We, the Council of Whitefeather, we draw to you and we ask you, humanity, what is the future that you desire? Are you so dependent upon those that come to you with good stories of what this year is to be and how it will come to be, that you will forego your right of choice, your right of design within that which is your place of being in this divine tapestry? Will you just keep accepting what is fed out to you by the platitudes of good intentioned people? Or will you seek those that tell you, yes, this is going to happen, but if this is your choice, then this will happen. But you can change this by being in integrity, by being in responsibility of self, by allowing yourself to heal. Dear ones, understand that 2020 is a year of great joy. It is a year where you can change things in your life that will bring you the joys and the potentials that you have been desiring, the fulfillments of your dreams. If you stop being distracted, if you allow yourself to take your eyes off of everything that is out there and focusing on what you truly know is important. There are the warriors out there in this realm, the human warriors that will bring your attention to climatic things that need to be dealt with. Things in the nature terms, things that are happening within the planet of just being destroyed or being built up or different things that you need to be aware of, but you do not need to be so focused on that it affects your mentality. It affects your moods. It affects you at a level of psychology. And yes, there are things that have happened in various parts of this beautiful disc that you see and you weep over because of the destruction that is happening. But I ask you this. If no animal were hurt and destroyed or killed, would you be as concerned? Or would you have the same concern as you do over bombs dropping over a third world nation, over injections being injected into third world nation children that will prevent them from siring or carrying their own children? We do not ask you to judge. We just ask you to ask yourself, if there was no motive happening, would you be as concerned, or would you just say, oh, it's just another? Oh, this is just... Dear ones, the winds of change are happening. The winds of change are coming to this planet, to this place of being. We are in co-creation with many, many ascended masters, the Brotherhood of Light, the great council of many councils, the Galactic Federation. We, White Feather, are here in co-creation with humanity to bring about the biggest change that you've had. But it must start with humanity. What is this change? The change is that there will be peace upon this plane. And if things begin at the grassroots, in other words, with you, and only with you, and then once you have healed, you infect another person with the same healing procedures, like a virus. See yourself as the healthy virus. See yourself as that particle of change, that catalyst, that catalyzes other people to heal themselves. Allow yourself to be in a place where you do not judge. You do not condemn yourself. That you do not focus on anyone else's negativity until you have focused and dealt with your own. Because this year is the year of freedom. This year, your 2020 is your year of shedding, of standing in your own trueness, of true connection to universal. And the connection is not of the ego. It is not of the personality. It is not of anything that anybody will be able to say, oh, wow. It is that which is the knowing within oneself of the I am, the divine center, the sacred heart space. And you look and you go, I am one. I am one. When you look at the energy body and you go, I am one. The emotional body, I am one. The mental, I am one. The physical, I am one. When you look at yourself in the totality and you know that you have married and healed all of the energetic bodies and you are one, then you go and you say, I am one. Gaia, who can I help? Universe, who can I assist? And you wait for direction. You don't just jump on the next bus that comes along and take yourself to Carnegie Hall and say, I have the answer. You may want to, but others are not ready to hear because you've healed yourself. Now show others. Let them speak for you, and they will take you to the places in the marketplace and on the mountains where you can speak and share, and eventually you will be before the millions. But then you will look around and you will see you're in front of the millions, and you're in front of the millions. We're all in front of the millions, and you will look in and you will see that you are all looking at each other because you have healed from within, and you are all in the same place of healing. And there is the power of change. The power of change is within you. 2020 is your year of powerful change. It is the alliance with all that is around you of the galactics, the families that work within the realms around you that is bringing this information to you. Dear ones, do not fear, because fear is going to take you down the path of war. Resist fear, integrate fear, ask fear why it is there in your life, and allow yourselves to release fear and walk in peace, walk in love, walk in healing, walk in your truth. Judge not another nation, not another person, not another brother or another sister, until you have come to your balance. And even then you will find that before you can judge another, you would rather weep and take the shoes from their feet and wash them, because you understand why they are the way they are, because you have walked a similar path. And you've healed, and you want to heal them. You want to show them how to heal. 2020 is the unlocking of the healing of humanity. It's the revealing of the cracks at the highest places as well as the lowest places. It is where you will begin to see and observe. It is where you will allow yourself to connect to your pineal if you truly desire to see. It's where the sacred heart space becomes sacred again. It's where those who have been harlots, or shall we say, stop being harlots of energy and focus on what they truly gifted desire is. Because once you find what your true energy gift is, what a powerful place this world will be. Many of you are harlots. It's a strong word. You jump from whoever will impregnate you with a good word. Whoever will make you feel good, you will jump from that person to that person to that person to that person. And then you wonder why you are consistently down, consistently seeking the next best thing, because you cannot look here. Beloved, stop being a harlot. Find a source of truth that for this moment will feed the hunger within you show you how to heal yourself, and then release you with love so that you can go dance the path of life to show others how to heal. 2025 is your middle year. By 2025, it will be revealed which path you are on. Now you would say, yes, but if there's a war now, we're on the path of war. No. Just because some box is unwrapped today does not mean that that box will be empty, that that box will be fully, shall we say, activated. You can rewrap it. You can close it up. But if too many of those boxes on the path of war are opened, by 2025, you will find that there is much disease, death, and destruction upon your planet. Military arms will have taken over most of the media, shall we say. And broadcasts, transmissions such as these will be few and far. They will be filtered. And then there is the path where people will begin, yes, we are at war, but we are healing. And we will resist the machinery. We will resist and we will speak the truth. And you will see the fluctuations of finance going up and down, your dollar value rising and dropping and rising and dropping, and people rushing here and rushing there to sustain their value. If you are rich, you are rich. Give what you do not need to those who need it. But do not give to those who just want. There is a difference. Now is the time of the sharing. Now is the time of the coming together in unity. Now is the time to look at what it is you truly need, desire, and want as a person of integrity, of enlightenment, and to focus on that. Stop focusing on I do not have enough, I should have this is not fair, why aren't this, why is that, blah, blah, blah. It is time, dear ones, to focus on what you want and allow that to permeate into the universal connection, that it may be birthed and reflected back at you in a reality. It's that simple. Focus on what you desire, what you want. When you focus, know that what you focus on is what is going to happen. So be careful, dear humans, on what you focus. There is a rift that is appearing, and this rift is amongst the peoples of various belief systems. And this rift is pulling people left and right. What is true, what is not true? Who should I listen to and who should I not? Am I a Christian? Am I not a Christian? Am I a Buddhist? Am I not? Am I this? Am I that? There is an awakening happening at a planetary level. If somebody was to come to you and ask for advice, would you be healed enough? Would you be grounded enough? Would you have the foundation to be able to help them? Would you have the humbleness to say, I don't know, go here, go there? This is the test question, because this time is coming. 2020 is the year of beginnings, the year of change, the cracking. It is a multiple year. It is the year where you need to understand that your foundation must be strong. That your pillars that you build your foundation with must be strong. Your integrity, your truth, your self-identification, and your consciousness, your love. All of these points must fit one of your pillars of truth, of foundation. And in there, the rest will flow. The walls, the rules, everything will come together. Your foundation must be based on the equality of the yin and the yang within your life, the masculine, the feminine, the good, the bad, the shadow, the light. You are all that is intended to be for all that is the purpose, for the life, for everything going forward. You are what the foundation brings about. So if you do not have a strong foundation, you will not go strongly into the fray. You will doubt. You will be like the grasses in the wind, backwards and forwards, until something activates inside of you and you make a choice and a decision. There are many teachers, but not all teachers are integrity. There are many healers, but not all healers are healers of integrity. There are many channelers, but not all channelers are channelers of integrity. You must fall into yourself of responsibility and watch as you begin to be responsible for your choices and your decisions and your focuses, how your life suddenly becomes better, brighter, stronger, fuller, healthier in all aspects. 2020, my friends, is your year. How it falls into place is how you put your bricks into place. For you are the master builder. You are the master constructor, planner. And you divine where everything goes in your house, on your foundation. Yes, there are many that give advice, but ultimately you are the decisive factor. Take what we have shared this time and allow yourself the permission to become everything that 2020 holds for you. Everything that this year holds for you, this decade. Because if you set in motion today the focus of greatness, of healing, this decade will be the best decade that you have ever seen in your historics. War may blip every now and then, but it will be a year, a decade of majority, not minority. It will be a time where the cabal will be shaky, It is a time where the Illuminati will look in fear because the people are waking not in resistance, but in self-responsibility. They are taking back ownership of their life. Think of it this way. If you could all throw your passports away, your birth certificates away, your numbers away, everything that identifies you to being a stock member of a corporation, and have the courage to live as individuals, the courage to live as people, have the courage to create organizations that transition people from one place to another, teach people without having to have a number, to be part of a bigger sausage factory. Do you know what would happen in this world? Not chaos, but there would be freedom. There would be freedom. How do you think the other societies outside of the earth realm exist? We do not belong to organizations. We are not a stock on a shelf. We are free members of society, each bringing and collaborating and co-creating, partaking of the result, sharing in the profits, if you want to call it that. And this is the potential for humanity now. We are white feathered. We have shared, and we will leave.